I don't think that there's a woman alive seeing me. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, and people always try to say, oh, cause you talk about pussy or whatever. Shut the fuck up. I could talk about pussy, I could talk about the moon, the sky, every motherfucking thing under this fucking moon, and rap circles around bitches' heads. I don't give a fuck. And rapping fast don't mean you can rap.
For more than a decade, Nicki Minaj has been the undeniable queen of female rap. No questions asked. She wasn't just an artist, she was a movement. Her reign was built on bars sharp enough to slice through any rival, on a personality loud enough to drown out entire generations, and on a strategy that made her name impossible to ignore. For years, every female rapper who stepped into the game had to do it under Nicki's shadow. She was the standard, the gatekeeper, and the crown holder all rolled into one. But now that crown isn't gripping her head the way it used to. And the question on everyone's mind is simple. Has the throne finally started slipping? The spark behind that question comes from two rising stars, Latto and Ice Spice. Two artists who, instead of following Nicki's old playbook, flipped the rules and built a whole new blueprint for dominance. Their unexpected collaboration didn't just give fans a song. It gave them a moment. A cultural reset that has the entire industry whispering. So let's rewind, break it all down, and figure out whether Nicki Minaj's rule is truly in danger, or if she's still untouchable. Nicki's empire. How she built the crown. Nicki's rise wasn't some lucky break. It was war. From her early mixtape days in New York, she turned herself into a one-woman army, blending outrageous bars, unforgettable alter egos, and a presence that demanded attention. When Nicki stepped into mainstream rap, she didn't just compete, she dominated. Verses on tracks like Monster didn't just boost her career, they cemented her as the artist who could out-rap anyone, male or female. Her features became career makers. Her verses became weapons. And her beefs? They became global headlines. She carried female rap at a time when the genre desperately needed revival. No other woman was operating on her level, and she knew it. Every new girl was instantly compared to her. Every rising name had to fight in Nicki's shadow just to be seen. And Nicki thrived in that environment. She turned tension into fuel. Whether it was Lil' Kim accusing her of stealing the Queen Bee crown, or Remy Ma dropping the infamous Shether diss, Nicki used drama as oxygen. It wasn't just about music, it was about dominance. About proving again and again that nobody could touch her. Even her infamous feud with Cardi B, culminating in the 2018 New York Fashion Week brawl, was proof of how central Nicki was to the conversation. She wasn't just part of the culture, she was the culture. For more than 10 years, Nicki reigned as the queen, untouchable, unchallenged, and unrelenting. But here's the problem. A strategy built on endless battles only works for so long. And while Nicki was perfecting the art of the feud, a new generation was growing. One that didn't want to fight the same old wars. The shift, from one queen to many. The music industry Nicki came up in was obsessed with a singular throne. Only one woman at the top. Every newcomer had to be positioned as either the next
rock, paper, scissors, shoot. It's us picking the same one? Okay, we said two out of three.
Two out of three.
Nicki, or Nicki's enemy. That model worked for years because fans fed on the drama. But the game changed. TikTok, streaming, and social media reshaped how artists connect with fans. Collabs became more valuable than clashes. Streams became more powerful than headlines. And the new generation of female rappers, artists like Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, Latto, and Ice Spice, started realizing they didn't have to fight each other for the spotlight. There was enough space for everyone. Enter Latto and Ice Spice, two artists who embody this new era of power. Latto's strategy, building with unity. Latto's breakout came with big energy. A track that not only dominated charts but also proved she could balance mainstream pop appeal with her rap roots. She showed she could hold her own next to pop stars, earn Grammy nods, and win brand endorsements, all while keeping her authenticity intact. But the real genius move? Latto didn't lean into beef. She leaned into collaboration. Her partnership with Cardi B, the only rapper who's ever seriously threatened Nicki's crown, wasn't just a music decision, it was a political one. It showed where Latto stood in the queen battle. She wasn't trying to topple Nicki's throne with shade and subliminals. She was building her own lane by teaming up with allies and multiplying her audience. Instead of feeding into drama, Latto made herself a safe bet for brands, labels, and other artists. In today's industry, that's power. Ice Spice's meteor rise. Ice Spice, on the other hand, didn't climb the ladder. She shot straight into the sky. One viral hit after another made her the face of Gen Z rap almost.
Nicki Minaj, Nicki the Hamburger Barbie, let's get it. 1 foot, 2 foot, red foot, blue foot. When it comes to Megan Thee Stallion, the bitch got 1 foot. When it comes to rap, I demonstrate. When it comes to legs, Megan amputate.
Overnight. Songs like Munch and In Ha Mood weren't just tracks, they were TikTok soundtracks, instantly woven into the culture of a new generation. Her laid-back style, paired with her smart use of social media, gave her a fanbase that didn't need to be stolen from anyone else. It was hers from the start. She didn't fight for space. She built her own and millions followed. Ice Spice represents a kind of stardom that doesn't rely on feuds or gatekeepers. She's proof that in the streaming era, authenticity and virality can catapult an artist to the top faster than any diss track. The twist? Latto and Ice Spice collab. For months, fans speculated that Latto and Ice Spice were heading for their own showdown. Subtle lyrical jabs, social media whispers, and fan-fueled theories built the tension. It looked like history was about to repeat itself. Two rising stars battling for the crown, just like Nicki and Kim, Nicki and Remy, Nicki and Cardi. But instead of war, they chose peace. Their surprise collab Gat wasn't just a track. It was a statement. The wrestling-inspired cover art, the playful lyrics, the rollout on Kai Cenat's livestream. It all flipped the script. What could have been another feud turned into a cultural event, one that proved unity is the new flex. By joining forces, Latto and
No, I'm just recording a fucking TikTok. Shit don't be that deep. And on my mother, if I did see that video behind me, I still would have proceeded. The fuck you gonna do to me? Y'all need to stop this whole.
Ice Spice didn't split their fan bases. They combined them. They didn't scare off brands. They attracted them. And they didn't shrink their bag. They multiplied it. This was the clearest signal yet that the old playbook is outdated. Nicki versus the new era. Here's where the split becomes crystal clear. Nicki Minaj is still the queen. Her catalog, her legacy, and her fanbase, the Barbs, make her untouchable in many ways. But her strategy is stuck in the past. Where Latto and Ice Spice lean into unity, Nicki leans into conflict. Where the new generation builds bridges, Nicki burns them. Where they expand their reach with collabs, Nicki isolates herself with callouts. Her rants about Roc Nation, her falling outs with peers, her public feuds, they all keep her name buzzing, but at what cost? She's boxed herself in, ruling a lonely kingdom guarded only by her fanbase. The industry itself is shifting away from her style of dominance, and that's the real threat to her throne. Because in 2025, the throne isn't about ruling alone anymore. It's about building a circle, about sharing power, about turning rivalry into partnership. The bigger picture. A new definition of queen. Nicki Minaj built her legacy on fire. On battles, on bars, on refusing to bow down. That fire made her unstoppable. But the same flames might now be burning too hot, closing doors faster than she can open them. Meanwhile, Latto and Ice Spice are showing that there's another way. A way that doesn't require tearing someone else down to rise up. A way.
Look, they all saying yes, they want to know.
Of course they want to know. Do they even want to know?
Okay, well, you can't say who made the first move first or like how it came about.
If you want to, I mean, yeah. I feel like this is for another segment.
How?
That feels more sustainable in a culture that thrives on community. The question isn't whether Nicki is still the queen, she is. The question is whether the monarchy model itself is outdated. Maybe the era of one queen is over. Maybe the new era is about a table where everyone eats. And if that's true, then Nicki's biggest challenge isn't Latto or Ice Spice. It's herself. Can she adapt to a new playbook? Or will she cling to the old one until the crown loses its shine? For now, the throne is still hers. But the ground beneath it is shifting. And the world is watching to see if she can hold on.